I think the one thing that's so powerful about video that no one talks about is it makes you a better real estate agent. If you're going to record yourself talking about the market, you better know what you're talking about.
Talk to us about the YouTube channel you've built and what your topics are, what your focus is. Is it focusing on buyers and sellers?
It has shifted. YouTube for me started as a place that I would put my videos so they would show up on my website, right? Like that was the way that I thought about it. And then what started happening, I'd say like 18 months ago, because I was throwing videos up, but with no plan, no call to action. They were just going into the abyss and they would get like 100 views or something, right? Then I made a conscious decision that, okay, I'm gonna start this. So right now, as of recording this, my YouTube channel is at like, I don't know, 8,500 subscribers. Like it's not massive, but we have a pretty good loyal following. My average video will do anywhere from, I don't know, 2 to 10,000 views. Some of them will do 20,000 and some will do 1,000. But what I've noticed too is that the view versus appointment delta is skewed. So I can have, like I had one that I did an interview on live TV and I kind of just reposted that as a video that did 50,000 views. 0 people reached out to me from it. And the watch time was down. So the real ROI on these type of videos is appointments, not views. Where then I just put out a video that I would say every agent should be doing this. It's a 45-minute video going over how to buy a condo in Toronto in 2023. You can pick any property type, any market. And it's basically my buyer presentation to the internet. And it's 45 minutes, and it's right now it's at like 4,500 views, which is below my average, but the watch time is way up. And all the comments are not like, you stupid real estate agent. They're like, thank you so much. This is the most comprehensive step-by-step guide. That video alone, I've got 6 appointments from in the last month.
Wow.
And so what I tell everyone about YouTube for agents is the way you have to think about it. A Hollywood actor will do 1 blockbuster movie to get paid, and then they'll go do 2 indie films they actually care about. So the way that I think of video ideas now is I will just type in Toronto real estate to Google. You can do the same thing for your market. And I click news and the headlines have already been written for you. So the title of my video is interest rates are going up in the States or the Fed's going to make a change. Like whatever the headline is, that's the title of your video. That's how you start your video. Then you have to have a call to action. So I use Calendly, but it's basically like, hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you find any value in this or you want to book an appointment with me, you can do that. Just go into the first link in the description. You can book a buyer call, a seller call, or a discovery call at a time that works best for you. So it's a 15-second call to action. It's casual, right? Like it's not a sales pitch. And we did, so I ran these numbers because I just presented on this. In 2022, we got 84 Calendly appointments from YouTube.
Oh,
wow.
Turned into 27 firm sales. We've already done 17 Calendly appointments this year, and we're recording this early March, and we've done 4 sales already. Like and what's so cool is that they're like, hey, Tom, like, it's so cool to talk with you. Like, we watch you. Like, we think we know who you are. It would be great to work together. Yeah. So it's what you're creating is you leads, and you leads are what I would want to focus on. They reach out to you, and the property is secondary.
Yeah. And you have leverage too. Right?
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of these, what you're referring to, are buyer side.
YouTube is heavy buyer.
Yeah.
But which goes to the team. I'd say 80-20 buyers to sellers from YouTube.
Are they then upset though that they're seeing the video that's Tom Storey and then they're being passed to a buyer's agent?
No, it's a really good question. So I will still do the initial buyer call. They will speak with me. And then the way that I'll go through it with them is like, hey, so the way that I run my team is I actually have 3 buyer specialists, and their full-time job is to show you properties. The reason that we did that is because the Toronto market, even in times where it slows down, does move pretty good for the quick properties. So I don't want you to miss on any opportunity. So I'm absolutely a part of this. This is my cell phone number. You have my direct line. I'm not the one that opens the door for you, but when it comes time to make an offer on that property, if you want to do strategy, we'll jump on a Zoom call and I'll be your guy.
Yeah. So that's the same thing we do. Yeah.
Never an issue.
It's all about how you present it though.
You really gotta like talk up your team member too. Don't say this is my junior agent. Like that's gonna take you out. Like, hey, this is my partner.
My rookie agent.
Yeah. Like don't, give titles if you want, but like make sure they sound good. Like
you have to package it in a way where it's actually beneficial for them.
Yeah. In everything that you do, it's essentially the MMFI approach, which is make me feel important.
Yeah.
So for them, it's like, hey, this is my showing partner. I don't want you to feel like you're waiting on us. Rather, we're waiting on you to let us know so we're available whenever your calendar is. And that's that perspective shift and managing those expectations is a big thing that new agents struggle with as well, right? But that makes a world of a change when you're trying to detach yourself from being on every single showing or every single appointment.
Yeah. I was just going to say that back to the leverage thing for a second. So most of these YouTube videos are attracting people to set an appointment on Calendly for a buyer consultation. Well, on the seller side, if you're able to attract a seller, it just does give you a lot more leverage, because if someone's coming to you for your services rather than you prospecting them like an expired or a FSBO, I think it changes the roles a little bit.
It's an unfair advantage. I'm listing 2 condos next week that are sellers that came from YouTube. Like you walk in and they're like referencing things you've said in your videos.
Yeah.
Like it's not an online lead. It's a weird, we got to, set ourselves in check here, but like they do put you on this mini pedestal that they're like excited to talk to you, where most online leads, when you call, they're like, who the hell is this? Why are you calling me?
If you keep calling me, I'm going to block you.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that. Like they want you to call them.
Do you know Jazz Takar?
I know Jazz very well. He's in my office. I just did his podcast last week.
Oh, really? Oh, I think I did see that. Yeah. So we had him on. He was giving us, we have a good reel from similar conversation where he's like, listen, he's like, that's where the leverage thing came from, honestly. He's like, I have a ton of leverage because a seller who comes to my office, he's like, they already know that I've got a lot of energy. So that might annoy the hell out of them. But if they're calling me, they're probably okay with it. They already know I'm Indian. So we get that out of the way. He's like, they already know that like I'm intense and I'm direct and I'm to the point. He's like, all that stuff's out of the way.
Yeah.
It's interesting to look at it that way.
And what it also does? Anyone that watches your videos first and doesn't like you, they're never gonna call you.
Yeah.
So you've also just saved yourself from maybe an asshole that you don't want to work with anyways, that also thinks you're an asshole, so it's equal.
Yeah.
But you don't know that when you meet a stranger. At this point, you're just never gonna get that call. So you've saved yourself from all these annoying things, but you're never actually gonna know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did the exposure come from to make this idea happen?
So it started with, in 2015, I decided that I was going to do video. I was frustrated because I felt like this was a year and a half into the business. I was frustrated because I felt like on a client experience level, on a market understanding level, I was good, but I wasn't getting a seat at the kitchen table because I was 23 years old and like could barely grow a beard now. I could barely grow a beard then. It was tough.
Yeah.
So I decided, okay, I'm going to make these 3-minute market stats videos. Market stats would come out at the beginning of the month, and I would sit there like in my little condo and film this video, and I would send it to my lease clients that were in my database. And then I would throw it on YouTube.
What, email or?
Like I'd use BombBomb.
Yeah.
And I would send it to them through that, through like a direct mail thing online. And then I would put the video on YouTube just so it could be on my website as well, just in case anyone went there. But at that point I was embedding them in BombBomb, so it was like actually in the email. And that's how it started. And then what happened was, the company I work for is a Canadian-only company. It's called Royal LePage, but we have 20,000 agents. We're fairly large here. They have a PR department. Their people started seeing my stuff and going like, oh, you can talk in front of the camera and you seem to know what you're talking about. Would you ever want to do media for us? And then it started with newspaper. And then, now I've done every media that exists here in Canada, and I'm doing it frequently. And it's not like I do the news and someone calls me and is like, come sell my house immediately. I saw you. That's not how it works. But my past clients think it's cool. The industry thinks it's cool. The B2B thinks it's cool. So everything started from filming videos in my tiny little apartment that sucked. That got me exposure. This is the visibility aspect of it, which then over time led to all these cool opportunities.
Which is sick. So you remain front of mind doing that to your past clients and stuff like that. So you're omnipresent to people who knew you.
That was the whole point. I only made these videos for them. That was the only point. Is like I just, the average consumer moves once every 7 years unless they're an investor in the military, right? Yeah. So they don't need us that often. So my whole mindset with my business, even to today, is like 95% of the time, the stuff we send our clients, they could care less about.
Yeah.
They don't care. So it's okay if they don't answer all your emails or respond to your videos or come to your events. When they need you for that moment of time, are you still following your plan? So they thought about you then. That's like, we just sold a $1.2 million property to a client who did not respond to an email for 5 years.
I've done the same thing.
Like, and then he reached out, I was like, hey, can you help me sell my condo, buy a new place? I'm like, yeah, hello. I've been trying to talk to you. But he was living his life.
I've left you a voicemail every 3 months for the last 16 years. He finally calls you back and it's a pocket dial and you're like, oh shit.
Is it my bad? Didn't mean to. So talk us through, you were talking about looking up the trending topics more or less and knowing the title. So just so I understand it correctly, are you making one trendy like video to try to get people into your page and then doing two, like a third of them is trendy videos to get people to your channel and then two of them or 2/3 of them are value based?
I would actually say it's the opposite. I'm going two trendy videos, one value-based video, going back and forth. The reason why is that the trendy videos will get you subscribers, likes, and views, and it will help you build authority. So, you know, if you have one view on your video and 16 subscribers, the chance of someone reaching out to you truthfully are low.
Yeah.
But if you do these videos to get the attention of people to then go like, okay, other people show up here every week. And you know, for the first 6 months you do it, you're going to feel like you're talking to nobody, but that's okay. People, if you consistently do it, they will show up.
We know what that's like, by the way.
Yeah.
But that's like sales though too, right?
Yeah.
We talk to ourselves all the time.
I think the one thing that's so powerful about video that no one talks about is it makes you a better real estate agent. If you're going to record yourself talking about the market, you better know what you're talking about. So it makes you look at the data. It makes you look at the stats. It keeps you educated and up to date.
We were talking about that yesterday. I said, if nothing else comes from this goddamn podcast,
Better presenter.
we are better presenters. We're better speakers. You know, I learned to not talk over him. He learns to not talk over me. We learn to not talk over you, hopefully. It helps you improve your presentation. I mean, I'm sure that's what got you onto the stage, right? And do some
100%.
speaking engagements, right?
And for the speaking engagements at the beginning, it was a lot of like during the pandemic, everything was online, obviously. And I spoke to like, I don't know, probably 40 brokerages that year. And my name just kept getting passed around. And some had speaking budgets and some didn't. But I was like, nothing else is going on right now. I'm going to do this. But now I'm paid for everything I do. Like, and it's cool. And it's never going to take away from the actual sales thing of the business, but I enjoy it. And, you know, if I get paid a little bit of money for an hour to talk to somebody about something I'm passionate about, and then they're also realtors, usually not in my market, you're just built, it's like the long-term effect.
Yeah,
Sure.
definitely expanding the network from there.
I wanted to go back to those videos real quick. So I think you said two trending videos and one value-based video. I mean, how do you present something in your market without it being boring? Like market stats obviously are boring. Like there are people that do market stat videos in our market that literally I'm out in like
10 condos
3
sold
it is dreadful
in 90 days.
And we've all put out some really
Yeah.
rough videos. If we go, you know, scroll to the bottom of the page far back enough, but how do you make those videos exciting? How do you make them interesting, unique?
Well, even if you make them as interesting, as unique as you possibly can, they're still going to be kind of boring. So let's like acknowledge that. Like, so I literally filmed one this morning and it was the February market stats for Toronto. Now, this is our market does year-over-year numbers. Anything compared to last February is going to look really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've had 8 rate hikes here. I'm not sure where you guys are at. And the average price from the peak of the market was down 18%. So that video, the first 10 seconds is going to go, the Toronto Real Estate Board just reported that year-over-year prices are down 18%. That's the hook of the video. The title of the video is going to say the exact same thing, and the thumbnail is going to be like me going like this with like a minus 18% beside me, right? And then I'm going to say, you know, in today's video, what we're going to look at is those year-over-year numbers, but we're also going to look month-over-month to show you as a potential buyer or seller what you would actually need to know in today's market. Then I go into the call to action and ask them to like and subscribe and all that stuff. And then what I do is I will literally just share my screen. Like I record everything on Ecamm Live, and it's for Mac computers. It's a streaming software, but you can do everything in-house. So it's like my camera, my audio, everything becomes one file. There's no memory cards it's saving to the computer. So I film a 12-minute video of me talking. I never stop if I make a mistake. And then I just cut out the ums and ahs and all the crap. And I will share my screen and literally bring up the market stats and like show them, right? Like never tell them what you can show them, right? Because then they actually see what's going on. And then I will engage the audience and say, you know, we're down 18%. Some people thought it'd be 30, 40%. Let me know, comment below. Are you surprised by these numbers? So that's kind of a few of the tricks that we use. And then I never have these videos scripted. I kind of like have 3 bullet points I want to talk about, but every video is the same structure. Intro, ask them a question, have a call to action, then go over what you're talking about, break it into 3 points, then wrap it up.
Yeah.
And even at the end of videos now, it's not like I used to have music that would come on as it was ending. I don't want them to know it's ending anymore. So we end really quick because if they know it's ending, they'll cut out early. So they think it's not a lot happening. But I'm like, thanks so much for watching. Bye. so I get them to the end because YouTube likes their attention.